And we are live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Gathering Paracast. We're excited to be here tonight because we've got a really fun show. I'm Heidi.
And I'm Stephanie. And we are all cryptids today. Actually, I think all of them, Allan. But our guest tonight is Allan Yerxa Sr., and he is he's a First Nations Bigfoot researcher. And welcome to the show, Allan.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Singavinsin me totem. Allan Yerxa Dishnikas.
Yes.
For all my peoples out there, that was my First Nations Indian name, which means little balsam. I am also of the Sturgeon clan.
Okay.
So, in saying that, take it away. What do we do?
Yeah. So a little bit about Allan. So I met him. Gosh, Allan, how many years ago? It's probably been 10 years ago. I bet 9 or 10 for sure. Yes. You came to an event that we had. Cryptid Chicks had up in I can't remember, Three River Falls, maybe. I don't remember. And that's where we met.
Three River Falls, yeah.
Yeah, and we've kept in touch over the years. You've been on our radio show a few times. And what was really interesting is last month when we were all driving the sim crew up to Bigfoot Days, we talked about you, Allan, because we were talking about people that we would probably see there. And I said, geez, I wish Allan would be there. We haven't seen Allan forever. And then it was later in the afternoon and I was walking around the vendor stuff. And I hear this, Steffi, is that you? And it was you guys, and I'm like, oh my God. And then you came over and you were all set. You had your computer, you sat down with us, you showed us a whole bunch of evidence and it was so fun. And then I said, hey, do you want to be on the show? And you said, yes.
Well, yeah, it actually has been a while. We've been to going to Reamer, Minnesota, for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if you tried to go there last year or not, but it was rained out.
Yeah, we were there, but the storm came through and we had to get all of our stuff out of there and we just ran really.
Yeah, by the time we got there last year, it was deserted. So this year it was a nice, clear, sunny, it was sunny. Yeah. And it was good to see some people. And it was actually hoping you guys were going to be there in some form.
Yeah.
And there you were. You had a booth out. You were
good.
Sharing information. You were telling stories. It was, I got to see Jerry again.
No.
Reunion stuff. And it was great.
It was so fun. Yes, it was for sure. So.
Okay, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is one of the things that we talked about, and we talked about many things, but we talked about going into the field. And I think how it came up was you said, I can't really get into the field a whole lot anymore. So what I would like you guys to come up and I'll bring you to some spots, but you can't have phones. You can't have this. You can't have any electronic devices, and then so tell us that whole scenario and why and that kind of thing. So let's just let you talk about that.
Well, the thing about what I truly believe about Sabe, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever anybody chooses to call him, her, it is a being, a supernatural, original being of this planet. That's what I think. Yeah. It's just what I call Allan theory.
Yeah.
And along with Allan theory goes that all things vibe with nature. Okay. Human beings, we all have, how should I call it? A frequency, a vibe. We can only see so far. Our senses only go so far. Okay. Now, I'm just going to babble for a bit here.
Please. Yes.
Okay. Now, if you look at a cat's senses are far more almost supernatural than ours. Mm-hmm. See in the dark, they do this, or hearing, even dogs, they even have their own set of little superpowers, if you will, I rely on the little dogs to wake me up at night for burglars and stuff like that. And they have their own senses and stuff. Okay. Yeah. Now, in the paranormal field as well, Okay. Dogs and animals. Cats are super sensitive, you will know, to
Mhm.
paranormal field energies, right?
Mhm.
Your cat's head will flip around or something like that, or your dog's ears will prick up and look up in a corner, stuff like that. Okay, so they're on a wavelength greater than ours.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, if you take a being like Sasquatch who has their own set of undiscovered, I'm not abilities.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say powers. It's their own natural abilities. Their heightened senses that we all possess, and they go on a little further into a more, I guess you could say, parapsychology. Parapsychology.
Mhm.
They will cloak. They will do other things.
Mhm.
People talk about telepathy, other things like that, but they do exist in a different world from ours.
Mhm.
Okay, so when I'm talking about frequencies, I've gone out myself, um, without a camera, without anything.
Mhm.
Okay, it's just out for a hike.
Yeah.
Okay, you will hear, you will experience, and you will feel things. I'm just calling them things right now.
Mhm.
Okay, out in certain areas of this walkway that I take. Um, some places, I guess you could say, creepy.
Mhm.
And in some of those areas, I've heard things. Haven't really seen anything. Okay. And then you finally get to what I call the end spot. And then there you take a rest and whatever. And then they come to you if you sit still. Okay. It's almost like a state of mind,
Mhm.
almost. But if you can picture yourself alone out somewhere in the bush, just
Mhm.
your natural habitat. However, a squatchy habitat at that.
Mhm.
Okay. I think and know they would be a little bit more approachable with you if you went out in that state of mind and experienced something.
Mhm.
A lot of people, I that's why people have a hard time catching them on camera. They're not going to sit there and pose for you. They know that.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
So in its natural habitat like that, um, their frequencies will just sort of gel with the forest. Also, tree frequencies.
Mhm.
The trees give off their own living vibe. They are a natural. Um, they are a natural being as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
So then, there are other times I've gone out with cameras and stuff. Tromping through the bush, take a four-wheeler out, make tons of noise, all this kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
placing a camera here, I've done that. You don't get nothing.
Yeah. It is true.
They
Mhm.
the cameras themselves give off a frequency. The Bigfoot has to go in front of this line of sight,
Mhm.
right? So they know that and they are aware of that, and generally will just avoid it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know. So I think to truly experience one, you have to go out unarmed and just all alone by yourself, or maybe a couple people. But that would be the trick.
Mhm.
And the trade-off is, and would probably be most frustrating for a Bigfoot hunter, is that how am I going to get proof?
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. I mean, you'd have the experience, okay? You might see something, you'll definitely hear things, whistles, those kinds of things. However, um, you hear things walking through the bush, big heavy footprints, that kind of stuff. Might hear a growl. I've heard that once, screams, but again, it's all about the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and that makes, I mean, it makes sense what you're saying about having equipment or anything that's basically electronic, because they're going to sense that. They're much more sensitive than we are. And how many thousands and thousands of people go out looking for any kind of Sasquatch evidence
Mhm.
every day or year? I mean, and come back with not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So then it is, you have
Yeah.
that twist of, I want to go out and have this experience, and then I also want to prove it. And the thing that you're going to bring out to prove it ends up being why you don't have the
Yes.
experience.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, it's a,
Yes. And
You know what, Dan? I just want to say another thing too. If you really want, okay, here's, there was a picture I wanted to show. Can we get into that now?
yeah, the footprints.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do
Mhm.
it.
Wow.
Okay, this one right here, you see a set of smokes beside that. The
Mhm.
actual track itself is probably about 13, 14 inches long. Okay, now here's the funny thing about it. I took a walk in the springtime by
Mm-hmm.
myself, which is extremely rare because I am disabled and I wear a prosthetic. But I had this somewhat strange craving that day to go out in the bush and just go hiking around, and I did. I was supposed to meet a buddy there, but nobody showed up. So it's like, it's probably an unsafe thing to do, but damn it, I'm going out there anyways. And I did. Okay, so I went hiking out my prosthetic. Probably, I don't know, I was out a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out and did my thing. I did have a phone with me, okay,
Yeah.
but it was in my backpack. So, okay. Now, as I'm hiking back, I went out and did ceremony and come back.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the way back, there was I seen this little hill, and I went and stood on it, hiked on it, and I was just looking around. I go, how come I don't see any footprints? How come I've never seen a footprint? So I went back. This is in the springtime, mind you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to that trail and took a few steps, and that was sitting right in front of me. Okay. That was right in front of me. And it just, freaked me right out. So if you have good, honest intentions with a Squatch, if you can develop that somehow, ask for evidence, ask for this, because I wanted a track, and there it was.
Wow,
Wow.
that's cool.
That's impressive.
Yes.
You know
it is.
what? It was a castable print, and I didn't mark it. I went back 2 days later, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I had all my casting material, and I was going, oh, amateur Squatch here. I didn't get that.
You had the picture.
Okay, go ahead.
But you had the picture, so you do have some evidence. I mean, casting material weighs 1,000 pounds, and then you have to have water too. Let's be real. So if you're just going out for a hike, you probably don't have that.
Yeah, so that gets back to the, if you're looking for and you want something like that, and it also goes beyond. It goes into a cultural and spiritual belief too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's just my background.
Mm-hmm.
Talking, if the creator of the Squatch is willing to allow you to be seen, a footprint or whatever, then wow, count yourself lucky.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
absolutely.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those prints are really,
Good and detailed.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great that
We
you got a
don't
photo.
often get those. Allan, there's a few questions here. Can you read them? My glasses broke right before the show, so we're gonna
Hang on.
we're gonna have Heidi read them.
Fire away.
Let us see here. So, Cryptovania TV said that Linda Godfrey talked about Bigfoot using frequencies to cloak or camouflage.
Oh.
And so, is that something like what you're talking about, or that you were
Yes.
talking about?
Oh, definitely. I guess you could call them supernatural abilities, but it's in its natural state to be able to do those kinds of things. Locally, there have been some reports where sometimes you do hear them real close, okay, and then you shine your flashlight into the bush and you can't see them. They're cloaking. They could be almost right in front of you. I do believe that. And when you're talking about frequencies and stuff like that, Linda Godfrey was right on. Okay. However, the frequencies that they use can also be picked up with other different technologies, like a thermal, and then you got different other devices that are commonly used.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I mean, we've had that happen to us a number of times, Allan, where, we've had cameras running, right? We've had infrared. What did you just say? The other camera? I forget what it's called now. Thermal camera. There was nothing showing up anywhere, right? But yet something was like 2 feet away from us in the bush, right? We could hear them stomping, but we couldn't see them.
So probably if somebody used maybe a different type of device, they would have picked up on it. So a different wavelength of sorts.
Interesting.
Okay, so another just comment, I guess it's more than a question, not really a question, but Cryptovania TV also was saying that some folks use game cams as a deterrent to Bigfoot. So they'll put the cameras out because they don't want Bigfoot around.
Oh yeah, that would be a great, super idea. I would, you know what? I was thinking about something like that the other night. Okay, before we were coming on air, I was thinking about going back out in the bush again. However, this time asking for evidence. Now, you're talking about frequencies. This whole show is talking about frequencies. However, the best way to go out is to use an old school film camera. Okay?
Yeah.
It will, like just an old camera that you used to put up at your eye, go like that and look around, those kinds of things.
Yeah, the old 35 millimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what that does? That captures the moment and whatever is around you. It is not emitting anything.
Right.
Okay. So my next adventure will be to go out and maybe set some up around and just sit and chill and see what pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a real good idea. Wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even like if you can find them, those disposable cameras too, right? Same. They don't have any frequencies. You just, if you don't have a camera with film, buy a couple of those and go out there. We're going to do that next time we go out because that is a phenomenal idea.
Okay. And then there's one more question that from Nebraska Bridge was saying, was that your longest trip into the woods? Because you said you have a prosthetic, was that the furthest out that you had gone? Because
it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the longest. It was the longest, and actually my first squatching trip with my prosthetic. I do drive to a couple of regular places that I go check. I got a place that we go blueberry picking a little bit, and then there's like these sand pits that always seem to have activity. They always seem to have footprints in there. Not big definable footprints, but a set of narrow, like it's incredible. There's always activity out there. So I do have places I can drive to and somewhat walk into a little bit.
Cool.
But this has just been in the last 4 or 5 years. So before that, you were out in the woods all the time.
Oh yeah.
Before the prosthetic. Yeah. So
I was a bit of a crazy squatcher back then.
Like all of us, right?
Yes, yes. Jump out of a vehicle and go running into the bush. type thing.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
maniacs. Oh my God, did you see that? We got to go look. Yeah, no, it happens all the time. Well, very cool. I love this. I love this whole frequency
Yeah.
thing. And yeah, the next time we're out there for sure, I'm going to go out there. My phone will be with me, but it'll be off and
Yeah.
with old school film camera
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And, you know, we use dowsing rods and we use pendulums and other things that have no frequency at all too, you know, so that's just kind of natural. I just never thought
Well,
about it before.
You know what, though? I'd like to interject just for a second and say that they do have a frequency. It's just not an electronic,
Right.
like
That's true. It's
man-made.
more natural. It's more natural.
Yeah, it's
A
more
natural vibe,
like earth connected
like you were
than
saying. Yeah.
like a piece of
Mhm.
electronic equipment or a
Right.
phone or something that's
Wow.
actually like really emitting
Yeah.
a unnatural
Mm-hmm.
electric or electronic energy. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
You know, and
Mhm.
if you can, like, I don't even know how you would try and tap into it or build a connection of some sort, but maybe it's a continued exposure, or maybe it's, you know, continued gifting, all that kind of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
I love it. Well,
Wow.
Alan, thank you for being on. And
Yeah.
we will, if you will come back with us at another date, we will discuss more. We'll figure out what other subject you would like to touch on. I know you had shared with me a lot of your research on a lot of images, and there are some really cool things in there. So maybe we can talk about structures or something, because you have some really good pictures of structures as well and other things. So
Oh,
is that
definitely.
good?
Maybe I can give you an update.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. And, you
Yay.
know, we will get up there. I'm not sure when. My life is a little chaotic right now, but yes, I know Katie said the same thing. We got to get up there. So for those of you watching, Allan lives in Canada. So he lives just across the border from International Falls here in Minnesota. So
That's
we
right.
will. Hopefully in the next year we'll get up there and
Mhm.
we'll do a few days, and you know, you can take us to our spots without
Oh,
phones and
definitely.
all that stuff, and we'll see what happens.
Looking
So,
forward to it. That'd be pretty
yeah,
cool.
for sure. Well,
Awesome.
yeah,
Well, thank
you,
you.
Allan. And we'll do this again very soon.
Yeah, we're looking forward to all your evidence that we can
Yes.
dig through.
Yeah, and share.
You just want to say thank you and a big miigwech to you ladies, and to that Jason dude, wherever he is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you. Miigwech to you too, Allan. We'll see you soon. Thanks,
bet.
everybody, for watching. That concludes this episode of The Gathering Paracast.
Yep. And we'll
Awesome.
see you next week.
Thanks for
Good night,
watching.
everybody.